All right, it's been a while since I've actually filmed one of these videos, and it feels good to actually sit here and do it. Unfortunately, life's got me crazy busy, and I have not been able to keep up with any videos, even for our family business or my personal YouTube channel, which is This Is It. It's just been really rough. It's been, a couple of really busy weeks, and in my business, in my primary business, if you're busy, you gotta get it while it's hot, because you never know when it slows down. And right now it's one of those times that it slows down. But fortunately, I actually booked a job for this week, which I'm really excited about. It's working for a non-for-profit. I'm going to be filming an event basically for 5 hours a day for 2 days. Pays really well, which I'm pretty excited about. And the question came up. I've actually never done anything like this. While I'm confident that I could do it, I did not know exactly what I should do. So this is kind of like a step-by-step as to what I did in order to prepare myself for this upcoming shoot, and what maybe you could learn from me, or maybe you could teach me something. I don't know. So yeah, let's get into it. So the very first thing I did was actually create a checklist on my iPhone. It is probably one of the best things I did, because it actually helped me kind of organize my thoughts, and based on what the customer is expecting, what I'm going to need as far as equipment, what I'm going to need as far as another DP, anything that I need for this would go on this list. I will tell you a little bit of an example here. Let's see here, notes. So I just made a bunch of notes, basically make it really easy. And what I did was, for filming, I have a little filming thing. So I basically did an equipment list, which is number one. I did power cord, power strip, fold up table, gimbal, tripods, 2. Canon R5C, my bad boy right there, plus actually a 70-200 lens, a 24-70 just in case, my Nikon ZR with a gimbal with the 40mm lens, 3 mic setups, 4 batteries, big batteries, the 99-hour ones, USB drive, and XLR cable attachments for the sound system that they will be running. So that's just an equipment list of the stuff that I think that I'm going to need. But really, it just comes down to actually writing any kind of list. Like, hey, let me just write down some list of all the items that I think I'm going to need, and maybe a step-by-step as to what I'm going to do. So I knew that based on what their needs were, I knew that I was going to need an extra camera. I knew that I was going to need an extra tripod, a heavy-duty tripod, actually, I should say. I knew that I would need an extra hand, just because it's an event and there's a lot of space to cover. So I really wanted somebody to help me. So I needed basically a camera assistant to come along. So I got that all taken care of. Then I just wanted to make sure that I had all the things lined up in order to be able to provide the service that they wanted. So I think creating a list is probably one of the number one things you should do. And yeah, don't hesitate to, get fundamental about it and just actually write it down. I mean, it's super simple, and it's actually going to keep your whole project in order. The second thing I did was I actually rented for the first time. I usually don't rent equipment, but I felt like for a situation like this specific, I really needed another R5C or C70 or something like that. So I went to LensRentals.com, and I actually picked up an R5C. I picked up 2 lenses from them. I got the 70-200s. I got 2 of them from them. And I feel like that was enough. I have plenty of everything else. I just did not have that covered, and I wanted to make sure that the look that I hand over to the editor, because we're not doing it in the editing ourselves, is going to be a complete product, and they're going to get the best look possible they could get out of our cameras. So, and I want it to be consistent too. So the B-roll, even though the B-roll is going to be shot on the Nikon ZR, I feel like after working with the Nikon ZR for the last couple of months, I think that it matches really well with the Canon R5C, especially in C-Log 3. With C-Log 2, not so much. I think the colors are a little bit off, but with Cinemax, you could actually make that all work nowadays. So it's not perfect, but it is pretty close. So, that being said, I went with that situation. But yeah, rent some product. I mean, it's going to be more professional if you show up with two of the same cameras. And, you know, as my production grows and I start, you know, producing more and more videos for people, I'll end up buying more cameras. But for right now, let's be honest, let's just keep it small. You know, one, you know, main rig, one travel camera. I think that's all you really need to get started. Really, you only need one camera to get started. And if I were to start all over again today, I'd probably start with an R5C. If I were, you know, just focus on work, and if I were just kind of like a jack of all trades, kind of like travel vlogging or trying to do some professional work, you can still do that with the Nikon ZR. I actually think it drives a hard bargain. I will probably have, you could probably get 3 of those and have a pretty cool way of like shooting. So yeah, so that's the second thing. Another thing is communication. Make sure you touch base with your point of contact, with whoever you're working with. Make sure that you know all the information ahead of time. I had a situation with my point of contact where I wasn't really sure what kind of codecs I wanted us to shoot in. So I had to make sure that I reached out to them, got that information from their editor. I also trying to figure out the parking situation, trying to figure out, you know, how early we could get started in there. So all those small things are things that you have to kind of keep in mind. So make sure that you have an open line of communication with your point of contact for one of these events or any job, you know, if you ask me. I usually work directly with the client. I never usually work with an intermediary. So this is new for me. So I just made sure that I was very communicated really well, and just basically said, hey, what do you need? Made sure I made a list of all those things that I need. I actually used, you know, the same email that they sent me from my website, basically looking for a videographer. And I went on Gemini. You could actually do it on your browser now and just, hey, what does this need? And it actually listed it all out for me. And I just asked back those questions, just make sure I confirmed everything. And it worked out pretty good. They're taking care of our lunch and taking care of our parking. See, I wouldn't have known that unless I've really communicated with them. So this one is a tricky one. I was not sure. Again, I've never done an event like this before. They wanted audio from the podium. So I have, you know, plenty of audio hookups. I have, you know, separate stuff that I can run in order to get audio. So I just almost forgot an XLR cable from my list. And thank God I remembered. That could have been a disaster. I avoided that. That's all packed up now. And that's pretty much it. I mean, this is just a quick kind of like background of what this is going to be like on the set, or on the event. I'm going to try to see if I can get some B-roll and use some of that B-roll for some of the videos that I have coming up. And I'm obviously going to keep some of this, a lot of this footage, and I'll try to use some of this footage and then maybe, you know, talk about some of the things that I learned while actually shooting this being my first time shooting an event like this. All right, so I hope this kind of helps. It was just kind of like a quick and dirty video as to, you know, what my thoughts are going into this job. And, you know, maybe it'll help you, or if you have any tips for me for, you know, for the future, that'd be great. If not, I mean, maybe you'll learn something from me here. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm out. Peace.